Alright folks, next thing I'm going to show you here is how to make a gear on a cylinder. Now the nice thing about this is you can get a more accurate gear that's exactly the size you want it to be. In the first demo, we manipulated the gear by adjusting the ratio and the center to center distance, which is a little bit nitpicky to get to where you want to be. This method, you make your cylinder first, so if you want a 3-inch gear, if that's what your plans call for, go ahead and make a 3-inch diameter cylinder at the width you want. Then you're going to go ahead and open a new assembly. And I'm going to have to save this first. So now if I go to place, I can find the gear I just made. And there it is. Place that. Escape. Alright. So now I've got my cylinder in an assembly file. I'm going to go to design. I'm going to go to spur gear. I've got to save this file, of course. Yes. Now, what you're going to do is you are going to change this. You can put no model on gear 2 because we don't have some gear. And you're going to put this on feature. We want to manipulate the feature that we currently have. Then none of this really matters yet, but we need to select the face. So we're going to select the cylindrical face. Then we're going to select the start plane, which is either side, really doesn't matter. And now you see these this profile that popped up here, and I'm just going to change this to show you what happens if that number had been different. And I hit calculate. Well, now that's much smaller. So your job is to match and get this outer edge of these red lines, this profile, to match the diameter that as close as you can to what you have here. And as long as you get it really close, that's fine. It doesn't have to be too perfect. They'll still mesh just fine later on. So it seemed like that one was good. Actually, that's even better, 1.12. Alright, that's pretty much dead on. So now I can just hit OK. And it makes the teeth. And so you can see how this is a quick way to get the exact diameter that you're looking for, instead of the first method that I showed you, which might take a little more to get it where you want it. And then you can take this and you can save this. If you go to this and hit open, it'll open it as a part file that you can then save. I would save it as a part file because then you have it to insert into your other assembly, your assembly that, when you put all your parts together. So I really like saving these, even though you're in assembly view now. I like to save these things that we make as their own part files. Okay, so that's that. And one more thing I'll show you here real quick before you go is just some things that are in this menu that I didn't show you last time that are pretty interesting. When you go to preview, I showed you how to see what the diameter is, but there's some neat things here just to see how the teeth mesh on a gear. It's quite interesting. There's a lot to gears, the pitch, the number of teeth necessary. There's a lot more to it, and we're lucky that the computer does it for us. But it's also pretty neat that you can go in here, you can animate this, and you can see why the tooth is not just a squared off tooth. It's on a curve because of the way you see here, how they're meshing. Here they're starting to make contact. Over here, look how it's contacting. As it comes around, it's making contact now more on this face. You can see how it's transitioning. And this curve is a very important curve that It's pretty interesting actually to draw 2D, but just appreciate that, and that it's not just some square tooth. It's actually there's a lot that goes into making these teeth.